a chance to kind of catch my breath here. It's the first time I've ever spoken in church, so give me a break there. So, normally I'm quietly praying, in the back. So I'm a little restricted by my uniform and being in church here, what I would normally say. I'm not the most politically correct kind of person, but so bear with me. Shar gave me half an hour to speak today, so I presented and had a lot to go over, so if y'all take a second and stretch, stand up, there we go. But first of all, I want to say thank you, Shar and family, for all the nice words you said about me and for inviting me to speak today. I'm very, very honored. And thank you very much for the chance to stand up here. Never thought I'd be up here ever. If my dad is up there also, he's probably going, what are you doing up there? Hopefully I don't disintegrate, but if I do, I cared, I tried. So, anyways, my name is Deputy Richard Nelson. I work with the Sheriff's Department, obviously, and I'm assigned to Lake Forest Police Services. I'm considered, my position is the Administrative Deputy, which kind of hard to break it to the grandkids. I'm just a secretary. So I'm the secretary to the executive secretary to the chief of police. That's kind of what my job is. So sorry, but you were secretary too. Anyways, part of my jobs as administrative deputy or secretary is to manage all the volunteer programs in Lake Forest, Explorers, the youth program, the reserves, and the STARS, which is senior. Can't remember right now. Sheriff's team of active retired senior STARS. I took the position a long time ago, about 2006, and that's when I met Terry. And during that time, when I took this position, it was vacant. There was nobody in the position, so I didn't really have anyone to talk to about, hey, what do I do? And my boss had just been promoted, and there was a new chief, so there was 3 people in the administrative staff that really were coming in the new jobs. So I was very fortunate enough to have Terry and a lady named Glen kind of tell me, hey, what do I do? How do I run this program? What's going on? I had a lot to say, but Kathy and Barbara took a lot of it, so I'm going to reiterate some of the things that I kind of stole on my show. I wish I could have been first, Sean, so they could follow me. At least I have a little different jokes, a little different stories to tell, but it's a common theme you'll see with Terry, the kind of man he was. But Terry was kind of like the union boss. There's no rank in our STARS program. Everyone's equal, so there's no chain of command or anything like that. But Terry's kind of a quasi-leader. I always refer to him as the brains of the program. So he would tell me how to run things, what's going on, what I need to do, what I don't need to do, any kind of problems that ever come up. We kind of discuss them. If you look over the STARS uniforms right now, that's considered our Class A uniform. Well, when the STARS first started with Mike James, they didn't know really where the program was going to go, how it was going to be. So they gave them, dark blue navy slacks and a polo shirt, Well, most of the volunteers at that time were retired military veterans, and they wanted to have more of a Class A uniform, look more like police, So at that time, they argued or demanded, however you want to look at it. Who wants to argue with military veterans? I don't. But they wanted more police-like looking uniforms and badges, and that was all done prior to my arrival in the position. But then there came a time where my normal uniform is a polo and green pants, and the STARS started asking, we want to wear a polo, we want something more comfortable. We had more women in the group at that time, and they wanted to feel a little more comfortable. And I was like, all right. But I kind of like the Class A uniform, it looks good, it's professional. But then I kind of look at myself as a hypocrite, well, I'm wearing a polo, why should they be comfortable? So Terry and I kind of negotiated that, and we got one of those labor issues solved. Another one of our labor issues we worked on was when one of our chiefs, we were expanding in our office, and he wanted a real secretary. So he moved the secretary in the front office and moved the STARS all the way out to the City Hall reception desk, and they felt banished. They felt like they were part of our team, and that was about a year, if I believe. They were kind of gone. I was kind of bummed out because I kind of got used to them. We've developed a friendship, and get to know everybody, talk to everyone, and Terry, of course, was one of those people. Terry worked Thursdays for the STARS program because he belonged to the Rowdies, and he worked Mondays. So normally on Thursdays he would come in and he'd always say, hey, good morning, Rich. I knew it was a good day when he said good morning, Rich. And I also knew we had about a half-hour conversation coming, if he knew Terry. I think he's probably the only person that can out-talk me if given the time, and right now I'm going to be able to out-talk him, so I got the mic too, so. anyways, and I knew he had some medical issues and some problems just from talking to him and everything. And if you come in and say, hey, good morning, Rich, it's good. And if you come in and say, hey, Rich, we got to talk, it's normally like a union issue. We got to kind of solve a problem. And lately, I was always like, all right, what did Greg do now? So some of those things are like, okay, we resolve some of these little minor issues. We got a new Stars van, and it's a nice SUV. So we discussed on getting that and taking care of that kind of business. And dealing with different personalities, we had a hiring process. We came up with an oral board instead of just myself hiring them. We had a Stars oral board to hire people because if you don't, no offense to some of you, if you don't understand, managing old people is very difficult. They are the most. It's not just your mom and dad that are stubborn. Everyone. I'm trying to be a young guy. I'm now 45 this year, but I was about 40. I think when I started, maybe 38, trying to manage a bunch of old people, stubborn as they are. I'm telling you. So I'm not trying to offend anybody. Like I said, the Shars I did have me up here. So. But one of the things I think, the reason I bring this up is because the kind of person Terry was. Terry was a great confidant, and part of that union boss was the Stars felt comfortable talking to him and telling them about their problems or concerns about the program or what they wanted or what they needed, and then Terry could come to me and speak. It's funny because some of the Stars are intimidated by the uniform that I wear, or I'm a police officer. It's just that kind of generation, so they felt more comfortable talking to Terry than me. And I don't know why. I think I'm pretty personable, a little sarcastic at times, things like that. But I always had an open door policy, but it was always Terry they went to, which was good for me because it was kind of like a little buffer. Terry took a lot of the minor things and a lot of the major things and let me know what was venting and what was a problem. And we really got a chance to solve a lot of the problems the best that we could. I'm a kind of brutally honest person, and I'm not politically correct, so it's kind of good to have a little buffer like Terry to soften it up and make it sound a lot nicer. He was a great communicator. Like I think it was Barbara said, or Kathy, about sales. Which one? I'm trying to think. Barbara. He is a salesman. He's the kind of person that if you listen to him speak at the front desk or answer the telephone, he just is a great communicator. He could just, sell anything to anybody. I think he should have been in sales, but you're right, he was too honest, because I know he could sell me Al's 86 Toyota Celica convertible and make me think it's a 2014 Porsche. Say, if I don't buy it now, Keller's got money in hand, So he is a salesman, but when Terry talked, he's the kind of people, a lot of people talk like myself, just to joke around, have a good time, and laugh. But when Terry talked, he always had something to say. And that was the thing I appreciated about Terry. He always had something important to say. I also appreciate that he laughed at all my jokes, so I kind of have a little traveling audience. But we talked a lot about family, about religion. I have 2 daughters myself, so we talked about what I had to look forward to, dating, all those kind of things. And I really appreciated our time and our friendship grew through the years. As far as communicating, I really think his talks to me were kind of like, there's another church in Lake Forest that has a pastor that wrote a book, The Purpose-Driven Life, if you've ever heard of it or read it. I think his talks to me were kind of like his purpose, and I think his purpose in life was to make you want to be a better person, a better man, and a better Christian, And I try all the time. It's kind of hard having these 2 people stand behind me. I feel more comfortable if they're up front, but I try. I'm not a perfect Christian. I make mistakes, but Terry's the kind of guy that would make you want to be more like him. And I really appreciated every kind of talk we had about family and love and God. We had a lot more talks. Once we found out he was diagnosed with cancer, he came to my office and said, "Rich, we got to talk." And I was like, okay. I was thinking Greg again, but he told me he was diagnosed with cancer, so I'm all right. And then I started thinking about, what Terry did to me and the community and what we could do for him, And he left that day, and I don't know if I gave him a hug that day, but if I didn't, I apologize now, Terry. But I can tell you this, from that day on, I gave him a hug every time I saw him or I left. So I apologize if I did that day, but I was kind of bummed out. It really affected me. And he was one of those people that, like, why Terry? There's a prison's full. I've arrested thousands of guys, Why can't you take one of these people? Terry's such a good guy, But because of my faith, I know God has a plan. I'm not complaining, Lord. I'm not complaining, But I know He has a plan. I just don't understand it, And so I was just sitting there, what can I do? What can we do to make Terry remembered by everybody? And I thought, we have a volunteers banquet every year in the year to recognize the volunteers of the program. And I thought, you know what? I think we'll name the volunteer of the year after Terry. God knows I'm not naming it the Konyndyk Award because I can't spell that. Say it a lot. So we're just calling it the Terry Award. Okay, it's a lot easier than I can spell that. So we're just calling it Terry. So if you ever see the Terry Award in the registry, you know what it is now. The Konyndyk Award, you'd be like, what's that? A spelling bee award or something? So, I prayed that night, hey God, at least let Terry make it to the next banquet because I really wanted him to be the first presenter of the award to the first recipient. And little did I know that God was actually tuning into the Rich Nelson channel that night, listening to my prayers. I was fortunate enough to have him answer that. If I would have known he was listening, I probably would have asked for a lot more, like most of us. But my kind of vision of God is like this, and he's up there watching like the coolest big HD TV of all of us, listening into our lives and checking on us and everything, and kind of like Aunt Mary back east. I'm not saying she's a god, but I'm saying it's kind of funny how I have my analogy set up for someone watching TV and someone's actually watching me on TV right now, which is kind of ironic. But I kind of figured he was up there watching all of us, with the coolest remote, kind of like your Xbox now, where you just do this. I know for the younger kids they got that, so no offense to everyone. But with a real cool remote on like a cool cloud couch where he's just sitting up there relaxing. And sometimes I don't know if he pays attention to the Rich Nelson channel too much. I think he DVRs me. He watches it later when Jesus comes, hey, check out this fool. He's got this funny stuff, But with that said, I know God never had to tune into the Terry channel because he could just buy the box set of each season of his life because Terry lived his life in a godly way. God's got to watch me. I do some stupid things here and there. I say some stupid things. I try to be a good Christian. But I can tell you this, Terry lived his life like a godly man. He loved people, he cared about everybody, so, I'm not worried about where he is now. I know he's in heaven by the way he lived his life. I know he's the kind of man that I want to be, and everyone that knows him wants to be. So that's kind of my vision of God and how this all works. And now I'm Mary, how you doing? I don't know where the camera's at, but, Hello, I know I'm going to get back onto the Terry Award now. I know I kind of got off track there, but that's why he DVRs me. He can just skip through the boring stuff. Or where I lose track of my thoughts and everything. But Terry did get to make it to the next banquet. He did get to present the first award to, I couldn't imagine a more fitting person than Linda, who was kind of his right arm and helped out a lot. So it was a very touching moment. It meant a lot to me. Terry didn't know until that night because I didn't want to. He's the kind of guy that probably wouldn't have liked to think about it because he's so selfless. He cares about everybody else. It's not about him. And that's the way I think God wants us to live our life. It's not about us. It's about others. But as you can see, Terry's touched so many people that it really is kind of about him. And this day is about all of us remembering him and celebrating his life. And that's what Shara wanted. It was a celebration. So I hope about little smiles on some people's faces and everything. And I'm almost done. Speaking through the years with Terry, I got to find out a lot about his children, his wife, his grandkids, and we spoke a lot about their trips, and like I said, his two daughters, and got to know him, and he really, really loved his grandkids. So I want to tell you guys, the grandkids that are here today, he really loved you guys. I know some of you came by and he'd give you a little tour of the station. You're growing up now. I haven't seen you in a couple of years, but Yeah, hello. Sorry to burst your bubble that I'm not a real cop, I'm Mr. Secretary, but it's the truth for right now. It's the truth, you know. I know he told you I was a police officer and I ran this and I was his boss and all that stuff. But, I was his boss, but it wasn't like being a boss. I consider myself more his friend, just like the other stars here. You know, when you manage a program like this with these people for so long, it's more, and I hate to say this, but it is more like a family. You know, you kind of become friends with them. You love them, you care about them, you hear about their families and everything. And as far as the rowdies, if you're here today, I'll tell you, we had many conversations about you guys. I think it's a funny name because I never put those two words, Terry and rowdy, together. But you would talk about the programs, what you guys did on Monday. I kind of hear it on Thursday. So I think it's a great program that he was involved in. I just want to say that he loved every one of you guys. He spoke highly of you, and I think it's a great thing that you guys are doing here at the church. Your daughters, he loved you very much too, and grandkids. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had about you, which makes me think about my mom. Like, does my mom love my kids more than me? Because he talks about the grandkids a lot. My kids do a lot more with my mom than she ever did with me. So I think it kind of skips a generation or something. But I just want to say that I know this, that Shar, he loved you very much. We spoke about you all the time. Spoke about all the house renovations and things like that. I want to thank you for the privilege and honor of letting him volunteer with us and also letting me speak here today. I know there's probably 100 people here or so that could have spoke and know him probably better than I do, but I really loved your husband, and he's a great guy, and I miss him. And on behalf of the Orange County Sheriff's Department, Sea Lake Forest, and STARS program, we would like to present Sharp. You can come on up. One of the last pictures we took with Terry at the El Toro High School football stadium, along with his badge that no one will wear again. And if his daughters like to come up too, they're welcome as well, or any other member of the family. I would love to take credit for this, but this is Laurie's idea, and Laurie did everything with a little bit of help from Chelsea, who now also helps me with the STAR program. But I hope you guys enjoy this. And not that everyone has to come up, but when you get a chance, check it out, because I think Laurie did a great job on this. So thank you very much. It was an honor and privilege to have worked with your dad. All the stars signed it. Last but not least, I want to thank all of you for taking your time out today, but I know it wasn't really like you had to take time out of your day for Terry because of what Terry meant to all of us. Terry, I love you. I miss you. The only good thing about him being up there is I got one more person to give the thumbs up to St. Peter to help me get me in, so I appreciate that. So with that said, I know we have other people coming up here to speak. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless the Konyndyk family. Thank you very much, and